Good stuff. Check one, check. Check mic. Press conference, check one. We're good to go. Let's start. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the post-race press conference for playoff number 2 of the 2024 SuperMotocross World Championship Finals. My name is Dan Hubbard. A couple rules of the road here before we get started. To the press, we would like you to ask one question, then pass the mic, and if we have time, we'll come back and get a follow-up question for you. So keep that in mind. We're going to start in room here. We're going to go online to our press who is online, and we'll get through as many questions as we can. Welcome to our VIPs. Welcome SuperMotocross fans. Thanks for being here. Some incredible racing going down here in Fort Worth, Texas at Texas Motor Speedway. I want to introduce to you the podium of the 250 class. Give it up for Hayden Degan, Tom Vial, and Joe Shimoda. Hayden Degan, short and sweet. You went 1-1 last week in Concord, 1-1 today. What is your plan going in to Las Vegas for the final round?
Yeah, just keep being consistent, and I think today was like the most consistent day I've had, all season. Supercross, motocross, and now SMX. 1-1 in qualifying, and then 2 perfect starts, and that was my goal. And I don't know, just the same thing. Everyone's riding pretty good, so the goal is obviously execute my starts again and just see how it plays out. I mean, it's anything can happen. It's a wild race, and especially in Vegas, it's just like this where the dirt gets super hard packed, and we've seen how many mistakes happen today. So anything can happen, but I mean, the goal is to do what we've been doing.
You said you were going to work on your starts, and you did. Perfect run. Well done. Hayden Degan, let's open it up to the press down here. Scott?
Scott Yarjo, Moto Now blog. Tom, it seemed like the track was really slick and hard in that last moto especially. We saw you continue to push to the front. How difficult was it to continue pushing and click off fast lap times with those conditions?
I mean, yeah, the track was not easy. I mean, it was the same for everyone, of course, but I start like around 6 or 7, and I passed a few guys in the first few laps. And I was able to pass Joe and Levi, and I was like, okay, Aiden is like maybe 3-4 seconds. I was catching me a little bit. But I came out a little short. I finished like maybe 2-3 seconds behind him, and actually, anyway, it was nice to be able to fight, to ride with him the same speed. But even if I was passing him, it doesn't change anything, I think, for the overall. So no, it was a good race, and get ready for next weekend.
Alex Ray, Swap Moto Live here for Joe. You seem to start catching, like your stride here late in the season. Is that just getting more comfort on the Honda?
Yeah, I mean, like more time I spend on motorcycle. Like, I feel like decision I make during the day is in the right direction, I would say. Not like super far off one time and super like close the other time. Being a little more consistent, so I like about that. But yeah, overall today, like I think I need a little more pace. That's the part I'm struggling right now.
Jamie Guido, Vital MX. Hayden Degan, leading with such a gap like that, you could easily lose focus. So what do you do when you're in a moto like that, long moto out front, nobody around, to stay focused? What are you thinking about? What are you concentrating on?
Yeah, I've really just put an emphasis on trying to learn how to control a race from up front where, a track like this, if you push the limits, you're going to hit the ground pretty quick. So it's just finding that point where the guy behind you, you don't let him get too close, because I know, obviously when you get close to somebody, it kind of lights the fire up inside you. But that race is a little hard, too, because you're trying to push harder, but you make a little mistake, and Tom was riding really good. So I was trying to find that fine line. But, just in general, just trying to find those, where you can kind of control the race and be smart up front.
This one's for you again, Hayden, mate. Congrats on a good race. So I feel like you're probably right on the verge of going on a bit of a Villapoto style run in this 250 class. With a guy like Villo, he was pretty dominant like straight away, out of amateurs, and just started winning and dominating, and then he won all the way through 250s and then all the way through 450s. It's taken you, I'd say, like almost to the end of outdoors for you to kind of feel like you're turning into that guy. When you were coming out of amateurs, people maybe expected like a Villapoto type of dominance. What what was the reason it took as long as it did? Not to say that it's too long, but what have you learned to get you to this place now? And do you feel like you're the kind of guy that's about to do like a Villapoto, Jet Lawrence type of run in this 250 class?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it was just the aspect of doing it right, and that's why, I mean, I have a good dad, obviously, helping me with that. Make sure, I mean, the first year really drilled it into my head where it's a learning year, and it's not a year to try and show these guys that you're the fastest guy or anything, because that's how you get injured, and that's what I feel like a lot of, I mean, not Villapoto, but I feel like a lot of guys coming through the ranks have just battled an injury every single year. So that was kind of the thing where it was just like learn. And I feel like I'm past that spot now, the rookie learning curve, and now it's just, my goal is just to go out there and win every weekend. And I mean, it just took a little bit of time to get, I mean, a lot of studying other riders, and just my dad doing a lot of footage and everything, just watching me, getting my technique perfect, and just getting, everything's got to be perfect to be able to dominate races like this, and I feel like we're kind of getting to that point.
Dan Beaver, NBC Sports, for Joe. I think you said during the day that you didn't practice as much this last week as sometimes, and that probably was not a bad thing given the heat. But what's the status of your collarbone, and will you be able to go back to having a full regular week this week heading into Vegas?
This upcoming week, like, go back with more training? Probably not. I mean, we have one more race. Am I going to gain so much fitness during 1 week? It doesn't come around that easy. And I think I do have enough fitness for 20 minutes. Just have to find a little more pace. You know, like when Hayden gets 2 stars, I'm like, it's kind of hard for me to, you know, like stick and try to pass because all I'm doing right now is like getting pulled away. So realistically, just overall speed.
Andrew Ruggiero, Moto Now blog. Hayden, with how dominant you've been lately in the 250 class, is there a chance that we see you move up to the 450 class in motocross next year?
No, I'm sticking to 250, and I mean, moving up too quick is just kind of, that could put you in a bad position, and there's a lot of money to be made and a lot of trophies to bring home in the 250 class, and that's still, right now, 250s until we, obviously you got to win your Supercross, and then you have a year to defend, so once we win the Supercross title, then we get a year to defend, but as of now, 250s for now.
Justin Schuler with Kicking the Tires. Tom, this last year and a half, you've made huge strides of improvement. You've had better starts, better finishes, better pace. Where do you credit that to? Because, like, if you go back to the last year and a half, you were kind of mid-pack or so. Now you're running up front. You're competing for wins. You're here on a podium on the World Championship stage. Where do you credit that to? Is that, like, your coaching and training, your fitness programs, your riding style? Where do you credit that to?
I mean, that's just how I've been riding the last 5 years, I think. When you make the move from Europe to the US, it's really hard to get used to it, and I kind of struggled, especially in Supercross and actually also in outdoor last year. But I've had a great winter, and I wouldn't say it's about training or anything like that. I just got better and more confident, and I just get used to the track and to the format here in the US. It's also to the rider. I kind of know everyone, and I'm just used to it, and that's how I was riding in Europe. I'm more confident now, and we made a lot of progress compared to last year.
Mitch Kendra.
Hey, Mitch Kendra from RacerX Online. We'll go to Joe with this one. I know last year one of the big things you were working on was qualifying, and you kind of wanted to start the day better and just keep the ball rolling. Was there an emphasis on qualifying today, knowing that it was going to be so important with such a short starting straight today?
It's hard to hear, yeah. We can't hear the question up here, guys. Can you restate the question, Mitch?
I just want to say, Joe, I know focusing on qualifying for you has been really important the last year or so. Was it really important today knowing that the starting straight was so short?
Joe, he's asking.
About the starting straight. Was it too short and you were working on starts, right?
Mitch asked, you said you've been focusing on qualifying over the last year. Was that very important today because of the short start?
Yeah, I'm sorry. You know what? I don't know. Maybe someone might disagree with this, but I think having a short start like that makes it a lot more like qualify really matters because there's only a couple gates that are actually good. If you're like on outside of the box, there's no way you can get started from there. So kind of like having a good qualify, you get to have a better start. So I was really a fan of it.
Nick Still.
Yeah, thank you. Nick Still, MotoOnline.com. This will be for Hayden. Hayden, just before you sort of referenced of studying other riders and looking for that, can you just explain a little bit about that, what you look for? Is it your competition? Do you go and watch the 450 class a little bit closer? Just talk about that for me.
Yeah, it's just, just my team and my family around me. We've studied other riders, not even just riders over here, a lot of the, MXGP riders too, because obviously Prado is like the start god over there, so you got to watch him. And there's just, things, obviously the Lawrences are doing it the best right now in the 450 class. Tomac's obviously dominant too, so Webb, there's just, there's so many guys right now that you can take little things from, so just studying those type of guys.
Brent Bowser.
Yeah, Brent Bowser, Whiskey Throttle Media. My question's for Tom. Tom, you've been really good at these speedway tracks last year and this year. You've had really good results. Coming from the MXGP series, does these type of tracks remind you of any tracks over there, or like those one-off kind of tracks that they make in those different countries? Because you've been really good at these tracks and seem very comfortable on them.
Oh no, I never see a track like today. It was really dry. I think I've never ride a track that dry. And first moto was actually a little bit sketchy. Second moto, it was a little bit better, the track, but no, it was like kind of a mix, of course, like it's a SMX track between Supercross and outdoor. I think it was a little bit more outdoor today, but the track was just like super dry and slippery. And normally in outdoor, it's a little bit more traction.
Zach Newberry.
Yeah, Zach Newberry, Transworld Motocross, motocross.com. This question is for Tom. Stu said on the broadcast that you were a little chipper and a little bit happier going into the racing today. What can you attest to that? Was it just a good week of training? Did you feel good coming in here to Texas? Like, kind of what was it to get you back on the podium here?
Oh, I don't know. I'm always the same, I think, coming to the race. Today it was actually a little bit important. Last weekend, of course, it was, but less. Today is what mattered, and of course, next weekend it was mattered the most. So I was better today, the good flow, especially in that second moto. And I think the dirt is going to be a little bit like this next weekend in Vegas, kind of hard pack. And it was nice to have a good flow today, especially later in the day, second moto. So I think we're going to be good for next weekend in Vegas.
Alex Gobert.
Yeah, thanks. Alex Gobert, MotoOnline.com. For Hayden, how much does the experience that you gained 1 year ago going for that inaugural SMX Championship, how much is that going to help you heading into Las Vegas this coming weekend?
Yeah, definitely. And it's cool. You got the way the points work. Like, it kind of mixes it up. Like, if you win the first moto, it means something, but it doesn't mean as much as like a outdoor national. It's not 25 points or whatever. So it definitely, it mixes it up the way you gotta have a good overall finish. And with 3 rounds, you gotta have consistent days, and that's kind of what I've been working on and working towards, and that's what I've executed so far this year. So yeah.
Follow up right here.
Jamie Guido, Vital MX. Hayden, this is kind of a fun one. I had a little rumor that you might have already gotten your first ticket in your supercar. How fast were you going?
How did you know that? That's so weird.
We have people everywhere.
Yeah, that is true. There is people everywhere. I know that. But yeah, I did. But the cop was chill. He still wrote me for 19 over, but it was chill. Yeah.
That's not too bad.
There might be a court case pending. That could be a sensitive question.
Hey, those insurance rates go up, man.
yeah.
Especially on an R8. All right, Jace.
Hayden, just going to stick with you real quick, mate. Chance didn't race today. Obviously, there's a bit of an injury concern there. If he can't go to Motocross of Nations, would you consider like trying to put your name back in the hat, or is that door's just like fully closed for 2024?
Yeah, I think if it was an option, if Chance was out to go, I would have already said I would have went before they chose Chance, because obviously, I mean, they were gonna pick me, but there's things that need to be fixed personally, and once those are fixed, then we look forward to next year, and hopefully we're ready for then. You know, we'll see, but I mean, it's motocross. Things pop up out of nowhere, and things need to heal. I mean, just like Chance, he's keeps riding and aggravating his knee or whatever, and there's so many things each rider deals with. I mean, it's a lot more than everybody sees behind the scenes, right? So right now, yeah, I wouldn't go.
If Chance can't go, who would you send?
I don't know. I thought Levi was a good option, but I don't think Cowie or whatever will let him go. So I mean, I don't know. It's hard. RJ just crashed today, so it's like a lot of dudes are going down. I mean, I'm not exactly sure.
Alex Ray, Swap Moto Live for Hayden. First moto, I believe you went with the scoop. Was that something that you and your teammate on the 450 side, Eli, talked about, or is that just something that you guys just chose to do for the start? Because I mean, the track was blue groove and a half. The track was gone by the time it was noon.
Yeah, it was definitely a gnarly race on a paddle tire. That was gnarly. But I mean, I was like, I got to try and pull a shot. Like it's cool coming racing from the back, but I mean, it's not what I want to do. So I was like, if I can get a whole shot and I could just manage the race from there. But I mean, dude, got the whole shot, and then that thing was gnarly. Like up every lip, I could feel it literally like sliding so gnarly. So I was like, yeah, we're throwing the other tire back on, and I ended up executing the start perfect again on the other tires. So we're staying on the normal tire now.
Nice. And like in some of those sketchy areas in the 90-degree turns, whenever it's super slick like that, how is it? Like, are you hesitating a bit? Like, do I stand up or sit into this? Like, because you feel the rear end sliding out.
Yeah, actually, after the triple that left, and then that rhythm section right there, I would literally come out of the turn, and I would just like have to grind the clutch up the lip so my wheel wouldn't light up. I was like, ah. And but I mean, I made it work.
Yes, Scott Thompson with the MotoX Pod Show. This one's for Joe. Joe, you alluded to the being lack of fitness because of the injury, and a hot day like this, did it feel any tougher to get through than a national? How did the heat compare to some of the 30-minute motos we had earlier this year?
Oh, I mean, I didn't mean lack of fitness. I think, like I said, I just need more speed. Yeah.
All right, cool. Mitch, do you want to finish this up? Do you have one more follow-up question?
Yeah, sorry for the car pun, but Hayden, you're in the driver's seat here of this championship. Are you going to make any changes to your program throughout this week leading into the finale?
No, I've got a good program right now that I've been doing in between riding days. So just keep doing my thing, and I mean it's working, and especially keep doing what I'm doing, and it's definitely going to be good.
All right, I think we're good. Big round of applause for our 250 podium. Hayden Degan, Tom Vial, and Joe Shimoda. That's it. I mean, we called it, right? Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's get our Super Minis up here. Gentlemen, come on up. Big round of applause for our Super Minis. Brody Moss, Wyatt Duff, Carson Wood. Incredible racing out there. We'll get them all seated here. Pull those mics up to your mouths and get ready for a big old press conference. Y'all earned it. Congratulations, all three of you. Hard-won battle out there. Brody Moss, I want you to talk about your win. I don't know if it got almost emotional on the podium, but that was a big deal, man. This is a huge win for you on a massive stage. I know we talked about that track. That rhythm section was collecting a bunch of riders, not just in Super Minis, but in 250s and 450s all weekend long. How did you feel going through that section? Were there any tough sections for you? And what was your vibe winning this thing? And how big of a deal is it to your team?
So actually, like the third lap, I dodged.
A little bit closer to you. Just a little bit closer, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, just talking to Mike.
So I dodged a crash like third lap, and I got really lucky with that. And to me, I think that's why I won the race.
Yeah, well done, man. Big deal for you and the team. How's it feel?
Very good.
Is it sunk in yet?
Not yet.
It's gonna. All right, let's go to JB.
Jamie Guido, Vital MX. Let's go to Wyatt. A lot of kids going down. A lot of in the rhythm section. There's just pandemonium. It seemed like you really had to stay focused and keep your head on straight. So just talk about the mental side of how difficult this track was and not running into one of those kids or having the same issue.
Yeah, well, twice I was right behind two crashes, first or second lap, then about halfway through. This track it's pretty wild. Like, you have to stay very focused. Like, you'll be flying down a wide open section, then you got to go straight to like your Supercross technical mode and be on your game. But I barely missed a few crashes, just trying to move the bike in the air a little bit, trying to get away as much as you can. It's gnarly out there.
Sounds good. Yeah, Alex.
Alex, Swap Moto Live for Brody. Well, I mean, I guess for all three of you guys. You guys have been practicing. I'm sure that, you guys have been practicing on Supercross tracks and stuff leading up to this race. Just talk about a little bit like how much different it is, going from a practice track or a facility to a big stage like SMX and these speedways.
So for me, going to the practice tracks, I wasn't so nervous. Everything looked doable. When I came here, I saw a lot of the big jumps and got a little nervous, but hit everything, so I was fine.
Person, you want to answer that? Just about coming into it and the nerves, the same question?
Yeah, we've been practicing at a track where, it's not as Supercross as this, I guess. We got here and, yeah, the jumps are bigger than I'm used to hitting. But yeah, once I got it done, it was pretty easy.
And then I was just riding the Supercross track where we just would, after one of the rhythms that were on the end, we just jump out in the grass, go down a straightaway, make a turn, and come back. And then, yeah, these, I did it last year, so it was a little bit easier for me to, the nerves weren't near as high as compared to last year. But I figured out all the jumps pretty quick, and that helped me quite a bit.
Chase
from Gypsy Tales. I'm just going to take it one step further than A-Ray's question because I would be scared. So if we change the word from nervous to scared, do you guys actually get scared at your level? Like, you're obviously extremely high-level dirt bike riders, like better than 99% of the world. But do you come to a place like this and actually get scared? Like, wow, I need to do these jumps all day?
I was actually very, very scared on press day. It took me a while to hit everything, but once I hit it, it felt pretty easy. It was just getting the timing down.
Yeah, the first day we got here, we looked at the track, and yeah, the jumps were big, but yeah, the first day, all the triples and the double after the finish line, that first day I was barely making it, and it seems like today it's been a lot more easier. I think it's because the track dried out a little bit more, but yeah, today it was easier to hit everything.
Well, I've always been quite a confident jumper ever since I was really young, probably too young, and then it helped me out a bit, but it's just that moment of commitment where it's pretty scary. It's not that bad until we're like, all right, we have to go now, and but it was not too bad.
Yeah, Scott with the MotoX Pod Show. This is for Carson. That start obviously didn't go quite as planned, but it seemed like it took you about a lap to kind of get through a little bit of the sketchy stuff and calm down and go focus. How was that journey from the front? And I got to say, it was impressive watching you catch everybody.
It was pretty scary. My first lap, everyone was going down, and I don't know how I managed to, get away from that. Everyone was jumping sideways and crashing. There were some kids that were wheeling, going off the track and stuff. So, yeah, when I got off that start, it was a bummer, but I knew how to catch up. I passed a lot of people, and I just try to stay smart, try to stay up. I knew everyone was going to get very antsy and start making mistakes, so I capitalized on that and just try to stay smooth.
Yeah, my question's for Wyatt over here, and I can tell you got the mullet flowing in the back. You're a country kid. You're from the East Coast. And we see what AP's doing. He's a fan favorite. Is this something to where you're gonna, take this, success from this podium at the SMX and start to build your brand?
Well, maybe I might have to do that. Sounds like a good idea. I might give it a shot.
Mitch Kendra.
Hey, Mitch Kendra with Racer X. Let's go with Carson on this one. Obviously, you didn't get the win today, but did you feel like you rode better than you did last year? I guess, do you feel like even though you didn't get the win, are you better than you were here last year when you did get the win?
Yeah, last year, I'd say it was pretty easy. I got a really good start and was just in the front the whole time. And obviously this year I got a last place start and I had to work my way up. But yeah, this year I felt way better. I felt like last year I was very stiff, and this year I felt like I was doing a lot better with, staying loose and just riding like I know how to.
Brent Bowser.
Yeah, Brent Bowser, Whiskey Throttle Media. My question's for Brody. Brody, congrats on the win. 2 questions here. How did it feel to race in front of all the fans? And the most important question is, what's for dinner tonight?
So for the first question, the fans didn't really even bother me. I didn't notice them. I just try to focus on the track. And for dinner, I don't know. Go ask my mom.
What's your celebratory wish list?
Thank you.
All right. Any more questions out here from the press?
I got one last one for Carson Wood. You've had some great success in this class the last couple of years in SMX and Loretta's and that stuff. Can you talk a little bit about your next step or next year at all? A no is fine.
So there's really I don't know at all. I'm doing many O's, and then next year probably 250.
Cool. Anything else? Good to go? Yeah, Jace, you good? You sure? Jace never had a loss for questions. All right, man. Well, hey, gentlemen, well done. Incredible run out there, and we hope to see you again next year. Big round of applause. Brody Moss, Wyatt Duff, and Carson Wood. Well done, gentlemen. Awesome. 450's coming up. Nice job, guys. On their way, man. I know it's warm, bud. Dude, awesome race. That was just incredible, man. Just incredible. It might be hotter up here than it is outside. I know. I think it is. I really do. We're going to start. All right. Let's get this thing started. We are waiting on Hunter and Jet Lawrence. We do have Chase Sexton here, the number 4. Big round of applause for Chase Sexton. Unreal run. What a comeback, dude. That was just a commanding second moto, and I just want to talk about your mindset going into the final run. You came out and just dominated in that second moto. What was going through your mind when you crossed that finish line?
Yeah, I was stoked. It was about time I rode somewhat like myself. The first three motos were very average and didn't get great starts, so made my life hard. I feel like first moto I rode pretty well. I was pretty happy with my bike, but didn't get a great start. So second moto got a good start, was able to get by everybody, and then just kind of, I had really good line choices, and on a track with how dry it was, you couldn't be super aggressive, and felt like I had a good flow going. So it was nice to ride how I should for once.
Yeah, good flow is an understatement. It was great flow, man. It was really impressive to watch. Let's open up to the press up here. Are they coming around right now? Sounds good. We'll get them up here. And
my question's for
going.
Chase.
Yeah,
so,
Jamie, you got this.
Yeah, Jamie Guido, Vital Mix. Chase, we heard earlier, and you mentioned on the podium a big change today. What could you tell us specifically what that change was?
I've just been struggling with my shock a little bit, with just traction in general, and if you don't have traction on a track like that, it's very difficult to ride. So we did honestly every session I was out there, we changed something, and finally from practice to the races, we did a pretty good change, and I think it's something that we can use for next year even. So I'm at least I hope so. So that's kind of the game plan.
Let's welcome Hunter Lawrence and Jet Lawrence to the press conference now. Great battle out there as well. Hunter, amazing run. On Race Day Live, we were making our picks. We left you out. Were you surprised to get that win, or has this been coming for a long time? I know you won last year in the 250s in the second run. Some about this second playoff run that's been good to you, bud.
Yeah, I don't know. Just, it was a good day. I don't think I surprised myself. I feel like I've been knocking on the door long enough now, all throughout summer and stuff. So, yeah, it was good, just a good day. The track, funnily enough, I think honestly, it was just a good training day for these conditions. Like, we've not ridden something like this since, like, Europe. So it's cool just to ride something a little different. Obviously, hindsight, it's cool. Because, in the moment, you're probably not like, oh, man, this is so sick. But, yeah, it's good just to, looking back on it as a racer, brush up on those kind of conditions again, because we never get to really ride them. So,
yeah, brilliant run. Congratulations. Moving on, who's next? Hey, Ray.
Alex Ray, Swap Moto Live, for all three of you guys. The corner before, like the 2-3-2 rhythm section, or 3-3 for some of you guys as well. That outside line wasn't really working. We've seen a lot of guys crash in there. Just talk a little bit about that section coming out of it. It was really slick, and just sort of whatever, just explain it.
Where you want to go? Yeah, in the first moto, it wasn't really working because the inside was pretty good, but I honestly think in the end it was working, at least for myself, just because you could hit the ice skating rink section straight up and down, and that was, funnily enough, for all the black rubber you'd see on the track. Like, normally the more rubber you put down, the grippier it gets, but it was almost like the opposite today. So we were constantly chasing like away from that, like that hard patch,
I think the later it got in the day, the moisture started to come back through the dirt. No, but it was, honestly, I saw so many people crash on that rhythm section that I told myself before the second moto, I said, I'm going outside. I don't care if it's slower, but I'm going to go out there because I don't want to, one, I don't want to get wheel spin on the double, and two, I don't want to wheel spin for the three after that. So I was like, I don't care if it's slow. I'm going out there, and it ended up working out.
Yeah, she was slick.
Jace from Gypsy Tales. Hannah, did you guys ever race Black River Stadium in Townsville?
No, we didn't.
This had some real Black River Stadium vibes.
Yeah, I think it was between qualities or something, and I was just kind of watching all the film, and I'm like, I feel like I've raced here before on like a 65 at like something like a state fair type vibe, like just the grass on the sides, and man, I can't believe how hard packed this dirt was. You go 30 minutes east to Arlington and Supercross, and it's the best dirt on the tour, and then this dirt is, just wild.
So my real question, sorry, that was a fake question. I can't ask two, I got to ask one. So I feel like this year, obviously rookie season, but the expectations for yourself must be so high to the point where you've probably had one of the best rookie seasons in recent memory. Like there's probably a couple of guys that have done it better, but the guys that have done it better is like your brother, just, you know, Brian Dungey, like absolute legends of the sport. So when you look now, are you kind of, is it a little bit of relief and like, man, I was like really hard on myself, like expecting to get a win first year out. Not many guys even kind of expect that from themselves.
Yeah, no, not really. I mean, obviously Jet had, if he didn't have the year he had last year, yeah, it'd be a pretty good rookie year. But I don't know. I don't really get into that stuff. I don't really worry about it because I know what during the week was like for the guy that went perfect season last year. You know, I was right there. So it's and it's the same as me during the week this year, not going perfect season. So the work never stops, and I don't know. I just keep on. I think I can really relax and look back on it probably after Nations when the year's really said and done. But there's no rest for the wicked.
Andrew Ruggiero, Moto Now blog. This question's for all three of you. With the humidity and heat today, did you guys treat in between the races kind of like you do with the Nationals and cool down, go into ice baths, or was it not as bad because it was a shorter race?
Yeah, no, we had our ice baths set up, and so once we got back, we're just trying to get that core temperature down as fast as we could so we can start recovering for the next one.
Yeah, our truck driver, Tom, what a legend. He set up a whole tent with a swamp cooler. And, it was unreal. You know, we had the big swamp cooler, the big ass fan is the name of it. And, it was sick. It was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely warm today. I think this is probably our hottest race of the year throughout even the summer. I actually didn't find out we had pools at our at our semi until after like halfway through our break. So I'm like, well, it's too late now. So I just tried to cool down in the semi, but it ended up it sweated all day. So, and I think it's even hotter up here than it was on the racetrack. So
it is, man. Dan?
Dan Beaver, NBC Sports, for Hunter and Jet. First of all, Hunter, congratulations. I think it's notable that the only 3 people that have won a SuperMotocross race are all sitting up here now. But the double points, you needed to win. The double points also helped you take the points lead. Can you talk a little bit about that? And then when we switch to Jet, you control your own fate going into next week because of the triple points. And what does that mean to you? So, Hunter?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, the red plate in this series, or the SuperMotocross series, doesn't really, I don't think, mean as much as the Supercross or the Motocross series because you got the double and then the triple points. Like, it's winner take all next weekend. Whereas outdoors, you've got a 9-point lead. You can finish behind the guy both motos and still win, you know? So it definitely, it's Vegas, you know? It's what this series is created to do. So, it's just winner takes all.
Yeah, like Hunter said, it's a winners take all, so it's going to be, exciting one. Looking forward to it. We're kind of going to a similar thing last year, so we just got to make sure we don't make no mistakes and send it.
Jeff
Beaver, Whiskey Throttle Media. This is for Hunter. So when you came off the track, you went up to Tom and handed him your bike, and it was kind of a funny moment. You looked at him and said, "Did I win?" Were you unsure that you had the overall, or was it kind of in the back of your mind?
Normally, like, outdoors and stuff, I had the overall, but I wasn't 100% sure of the point system because it's Olympic scoring, so I just wanted to, not do a big old song and dance celebration and then find out, I didn't actually win. Then you look like a bit of a clown. So, just kind of contain it and get back and be sure of it.
Victoria Beaver, Road and Track for Chase. There was a lot of talk last week going through kind of how you bounce back from running well, but so far behind Eli and Jet in that second moto. Going into the first moto, you found yourself in the same situation of running well, but with all 3 in front of you this time. How did you make the mental adjustment needed between 1 and 2 to get that victory?
Yeah, I just need to get off the start was the biggest thing. I don't know if I've ever been on a start with that being that short, so the jump really mattered, and I didn't come into the first turn off like super great, but I was able to come around in like fourth, and yeah, the first moto, like I said, I felt like I rode decent, but I was too far back, and by the time I got into fourth, those guys were already well ahead of me. So this weekend, just the difference between my riding was a lot better. I knew last weekend that it wasn't good, but there wasn't much I could do about it. So this weekend I felt more comfortable and try and keep building for Vegas. I think this is how everyone knew it was going to turn out. It's a winner-take-all. It's kind of how the series is built.
All right, let's go to Mitch Kendra.
Hey, Mitch Kendra from RacerX Online. Hunter, congrats on that first win. I feel like it's been so close these last couple weeks. Obviously, you guys had some special graphics for this weekend. Just talk about how cool that is to have that unique artwork, and I'm sure this is going to be a memory that's going to last for you, but I'm sure for the artwork that was on your bike as well.
Yeah, exactly. This weekend, the bikes were all graphicked up. Honda's partnered with Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation for over 30 years, so it was cool to do that and shine light on that. And Charlie was the name of the character I was out there racing with, and maybe Charlie can stay. We had a good bit of luck today, so yeah, he's not too bad. Try and land the voiceover job on that for their Imaginary Friend Society. I think that's what it's called. So yeah, it was cool. We got to check out the hospital and all that side of things, which, not to sugarcoat it, honestly, it sucks seeing all these kids from 8 to 13 years old and they're diagnosed with cancer or tumours in their brain and they don't know what's going on, and the parents distraught. So it really is, it kind of sucks seeing that, So we just try to do our part, and it's awesome to know that Honda's been with them for over 30 years. We had no idea until this year. So yeah, it's cool to shine light on that. Obviously, Supercross partners with the St. Jude and stuff. So yeah, it's awesome. Everyone knows about charities and foundations, but to actually really see it is a huge eye opener.
And then just one quick follow up there. Obviously, you had that huge first moto win over your brother and Tomac. You don't get too high, you don't get too low. We know that, but it's got to be pretty cool to beat those guys, right?
Yeah, it's cool. Cool to race Tomac. I watched him from Australia racing with Stewart, Villapoto, Dungy, those guys. So yeah, it's cool. Probably a bucket list thing. So yeah.
Alex Gobert.
Yeah, thanks, Alex Gobert at MotoOnline.com. For Jet, how do you, these last couple of weekends have gone by super fast, so we're now heading into the decider in Las Vegas. How do you think your health, fitness, and everything else is going to be when we arrive there at the dragway?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It's pretty simple for me. It's like you say, it's a winner take all, so it dumbs it down for me a little bit more. And yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see. It was hot this weekend, and the first one, after a little mistake, I had to kind of push and try and make a pass on Eli, but I wasn't able to do it. And the second one, once I got in the second, Chase already gone. So we're we're gonna have to go and throw away any type of feeling and just go numb and try and just send it all out for it, because it's like I said, it's a winner take all. So we'll see.
Okay, thanks. Congrats to all three of you guys.
Brent Bowser.
Brett Bowser, Whiskey Throttle Media. My question's for Jet. Jet, you looked a little frustrated on the podium after both motos. Was it the bike, the track, the day? Just kind of run us through what was going through your head after both races.
Yeah, I was just more so frustrated about the first one. The second one, obviously, the start wasn't ideal, but I still came through and managed to a good position. Whether I think in the first one it would have, if I didn't make the mistake of the bike stalling and that stuff, I think it would have had a lot different outcome. But at the end of the day, at least if it wasn't me as a Lawrence winning it, at least Hunter got it. It's another Lawrence, so it's always good to have both of us out there. Gave him a good opportunity. So it's in the moment I was obviously pissed about it, but then after, once I kind of cooled down and really assessed what was going on and realized that obviously HD won and that stuff, it was more cool. So yeah.
We got time for one more. Let's do Zach Newberry. Zach, hand is up. You there?
Got a lot to say.
Is anybody else? Let's go to, Jamie.
Jamie Guido, Vital MX. Hunter, I'll go to you. At this point in the season, what does your training program look like during the week? I don't think you're going to get any fitter, so how do you adjust it from earlier in the season?
It might be crazy, but it's got to do something with riding dirt bikes.
Oh, you'd be
I
surprised.
meant more off the bike.
You'd be surprised how much fitter I've been getting during the weeks, man. Like, I'm just bouncing back fresher and fresher every weekend. Jump into cryo chamber just to pat my donkeys on the farm. That's great for the soul. And, dude, I come back fresher and younger and just, it's good. Just try and get under jet skin where I can and just, hang with the kids. Keeps you, it's good, man.
Perfect.
By stocking donkeys. Last quick question, Alex.
Yeah, just for the group, it has been, you guys have mentioned numerous times that it is a long, grueling season. Is there any going back to the fundamentals during the week, actually having fun on a motorcycle and just doing nose wheelies and just hitting the turn track and doing some type of drills, going back to just like you were on a 65 or something, just having fun on the motorcycle?
Sadly, that's not really heard of in Florida because it's hot there too. So whether if you're on the right track, you're going too slow, so you have no wind flow and you're dying. And then when you go on our SMX track, you're pushing, so then you're still in pain. So there's no really fun part about it, especially now too, because it's part of our Supercross thing, so it slows down. But I think.
I don't listen to them. It's beautiful out there. It's beautiful. It's good. We're out there riding bikes for a living. No, we try to. Obviously we do our work and stuff, but yeah, it is good. People would be surprised actually how fun it is. I know I speak because Chase likes it as well. Just dude, a rut track on a flat paddock is actually really fun, and it brings things back to, like you said, simple and back to the roots. So stuff like that, just transfer jumps, hitting jumps from the side on to a berm or whatever it may be, that stuff, it really does rejuvenate the rider, I believe. I'd say so,
Yeah, for me, I usually either Wednesday or Thursday, my last day before I go to the race, I try and take 20 minutes of my riding and just go out there and mess around. I think the Baker's Factory crew might think I'm a little bit crazy, but I just go out there and mess around, and I'm riding the outdoor track, riding the whoop track, whatever, just trying to have fun, because I feel like if you don't really do that, you just get so, it's almost like muscle memory, and you don't really think when you're riding. So for me, I try and mix it up, and I don't know, I still have fun riding my dirt bike. It's just, you gotta think about it and make an effort.
Last quick question. Jason Wygant.
Yeah, the fourth last question of the press conference here.
Thank you.
The start of the second moto, somehow Hunter and Jet and Eli also, you guys are all in the back. What happened with that short start in Moto 2?
Well, Kenny flinched, Hunter flinched, and then I saw Hunter flinch, so I'm like, I ain't going to fall for the bait, so I didn't flinch. And then the gate drop, they went, I didn't. So that's just basically how it was.
Nice move, Hunter. It's a great move.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was. It's not my fault. It could never be my fault. Kenny beside me flinched pretty good, and I thought I timed my go pretty good. But yeah, it didn't work out. And Dylan and you seem to get around pretty good. Or
Well, Dylan. I actually thought I had out the whole shot, and then all of a sudden I saw Dylan come from the outside. I'm like, well, I got sandwiched, and I think I don't know if I hit you or somebody, and I was fourth, almost slid out, but yeah, it was. I honestly looked because Jet was next to me and he didn't go. I'm like, oh, is there something wrong with the gate? Because normally his reaction time is good, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna whole shot this race. So no, Dylan had got a good start, and I was like, I don't know.
I didn't want to go just yet. I wasn't quite ready personally, so I'm like,
I was
I'm
waiting
gonna
for
go
a different shade of green, on the traffic lights, different shade.
I just didn't like the green, so I'm like, I'm gonna wait till it changes, and yeah. I just didn't want to go in with everyone, but I still ended up going in with everyone on the front wheel. But he screwed me. It's his fault. I didn't see Kenny do it.
All right, now, see, they're trash talking. Now we can say this. We wrapped it up perfectly there. Thank you. Let's
I
end
like
with
it.
that.
Well done. Thanks, Weeds, for bringing that to the press conference. Big round of applause. They delivered some incredible racing in playoff 2. Hunter Lawrence, Mr. Chase Sexton, and of course, Jet Lawrence. Thank you all for showing up. Don't forget, we are headed to Las Vegas. That's right, next Saturday from the Strip. The Las Vegas Motor Speedway live on Peacock, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, race day live, 9:30 p.m. pre-show, 10 p.m. gate drop. Next day, daily encore presentation on NBC at 1 p.m. Tickets are available at supermotocross.com. Thanks again, y'all.